In this module, you'll have the opportunity to view several videos that you'll find in Moodle. And the videos focus on several relatively current events. One is very current. The other is from about 15 years ago. But they're real life situations that will really encourage you to apply some of the tools and the questions and the concepts that we're learning about in this ethics portion of the course. Let me just tee everything up by giving you a few-minute introduction to the concept of ethics. You may have heard this from other courses that you might have taken earlier on in your academic careers, but very briefly, ethics, of course, simply refers to the inner guiding principles, so to speak, the moral values and beliefs that we use as leaders to analyze a situation and decide what the right way to behave is. Needless to say, we are all subject to various pressures. We're subject to various performance pressures. As leaders, we're subject to various, I would say, temptations about different ways that we could be acting in a given situation. And if we have a strong sense of ethics, that means that we have a strong sense of guiding principles and values and beliefs that will hopefully steer us to making the right choice and doing the right things, even if doing the right thing may be unpopular or may be difficult in any particular situation. Now, it is really interesting. Human beings, of course, have done unethical things probably since the beginning of time. What is interesting in our lifetimes is that leaders, specifically CEOs of businesses, seem to be getting fired for bad ethics more now than in the past. Whereas it was common in the distant past for someone to do unethical things and stay on their job and not be punished and not be singled out, that is changing. And according to a recent article by Harvard Business Review, which I have cited here, why do we think that leaders are getting held accountable more now than in the past? Well, there are likely a few reasons. The first is the general public, like you and I, are more interested in these ethical lapses, and we're less forgiving of these ethical lapses. We're coming to expect more from our leaders, which I think is a positive thing. The other reason is more countries around the world are adapting ethics codes with teeth, meaning with punishments, with penalties. It used to be that a large portion of the world turned a blind eye to ethical lapses, and thankfully that is changing. A third reason is that in this highly connected digital world that we all live in, it's becoming harder to hide ethical lapses. Information is more easy to find these days. Hackers have the ability to get their hands on information that might be able to expose ethical violations of leaders. So it's becoming harder to hide things that you might do that are unethical. Add to that the real-time social media broadcasting of things, right? If someone finds out that a leader has done something unethical, that information is likely to spread like wildfire across social media. And so all of these things contribute to leaders being held more accountable now for unethical behavior than they might have been in the past. One of the questions to ask yourself as you watch the videos and as you complete the assignments for this module is, why do you think the people in the videos allegedly acted unethically? Now, in some of the videos, we're going to look at the jury is already out. In some of the other videos, we're going to look at the jury is not already out, meaning that it's still part of investigations that are going on and discussions that are going on. But I would like you to look at the videos that are talking about ethics and ask yourself why you think otherwise smart people, otherwise successful people, otherwise accomplished people might act unethically. Why do you think it is? I'll leave the answer up to you, and I'll ask you to comment in the assignment. But several typical reasons that people give as to why others might act unethically is number one, greed. Some people, even though they have a lot, they're never satisfied. And so greed is sometimes cited as a driver of unethical behavior. Another factor that plays into people acting unethically is when there are no penalties or when there are no incentives to act with good ethics, right? If you're in a situation where there is no punishment or the rules are never enforced, well, you're less likely to take things seriously. Another reason is, and this is very telling and very important for all of us to remember as we advance through our own professional careers, you never want to get into the habit of breaking the rules, even if the rules are small, because if you lapse into ethical violations with small things, you're going to get used to it. It's going to become a habit, and then it's going to be psychologically much easier for you to do unethical things that are even bigger. Okay. So getting into good habits early on in your professional career will break the habit of doing unethical things. Keep these in mind as you watch the videos, and I look forward to your responses in the assignment about what you would have done differently if you were in any of the unethical situations presented in the videos, and if you were perhaps faced with some of the same choices that the participants were in the videos.